Hi everyone, my name is Esin Ergen. I'm a faculty member at İstanbul Technical University Civil Engineering Department. And today I will talk about the usability test protocol that we have developed for evaluating mixed reality environments. Immersive technologies are recommended for more effective use of BIM, especially for the users, for the end users that do not have technical background. And multiple studies that utilized and tested immersive technologies were conducted in the literature. However, when we reviewed them, we realized that a structured usability test protocol for use of immersive technologies is lacking in the literature, especially for capturing the occupants' experiences. The existing usability questionnaires are too generic or high level, and some of them were developed to evaluate websites, some of them were developed to evaluate products and prototypes. The existing studies that tested users' experience use some protocols. They develop some protocols, and these protocols mostly focuses on the specific tasks of the technical personnel and do not aim to capture the experience of the occupants. And both existing usability questionnaires and existing studies that performed usability tests, they lack specialized questions and methods for evaluating mixed reality environments. So our goal is to propose a usability test protocol to evaluate the performance of a prototype which is developed for users, including occupants of a mixed reality environment in the FM phase of a building. We performed a literature review and investigated the existing usability test questionnaires that were mostly developed for product evaluation or human-computer interaction. And we also identified the existing usability test protocols. And we proposed a usability test protocol to be used in the mixed reality environment. So when we look at the existing usability questionnaires, these are the major questionnaires that we have investigated. We realize that some of them are very, very short. Some of them are is very generic, and we extracted the information that we can use for mixed reality environment out of those questionnaires and included in our proposal. For example, the first one, usefulness, satisfaction, and ease of use questionnaire, is a very generic one, and it's used for evaluating the products. It has statements that could be applied to any kind of product. For example, it helps me to be more effective. It helps me be more productive. It's useful, it's user-friendly, and it's flexible, and so on. The second one is system usability scale. That one is developed for systems, and it's actually similar to the first one, but the focus is on the system. So I found the system unnecessarily complex. I thought the system was easy to use. I found the system very cumbersome to use, and so on. The other two were very short and they were aiming to capture the general feel of the prototype or the system. And so it was focusing on the ease of use and the experience. The other one is also the same. It focuses on the satisfaction of the user. The remaining studies have detailed questions, and they were focusing on the functionality of the system, and it has some statements similar to the others, like it was simple to use the system, but it's more detailed. It has more detailed statements, such as the system gave error messages that clearly told me how to fix the problems. So the last one is also getting the is trying to capture the reactions of the users and going into the details of the system. The usability test protocols that were used in the existing studies were reviewed. These were conducted to investigate the interaction of the users with an interface through predefined tests. There were two types. The first one is cognitive walkthrough. In this one, researchers mostly perform the tasks, and their feedback was collected. The second one is the laboratory evaluations. In this one, real or potential users perform the tasks, and there are structured or unstructured tasks to be performed by the users. During these tests, the feedback of the users are collected through recording or talk through. This is objective data collection. The users were recorded during when they are performing their tasks, or they let the users talk through, so and someone takes notes so that their experience was captured. Subjective feedback can be collected with questionnaires that were conducted after the evaluation tests, and the users fills out that questionnaire to convey what they think about the system or the software. So we have developed our test protocol based on the literature review, based on the existing questionnaires and existing test protocols. And the first step of the proposed test protocol is cognitive walkthrough. In this step, we need at least two researchers. Researcher one prepares a set of tasks that are suitable for laboratory environments, and the researcher two, who hasn't participated in the preparation of the tasks, performs the tasks, and the researcher one records the interactions of researcher one records the interactions of researcher two, and the data is analyzed according to customized evaluation criteria. At the end of this step, the problems are determined and the detected errors are fixed in the prototype. In the second step of the proposed test protocol, pretest questionnaire is conducted, and the users are selected among the target group. The questionnaire is performed to determine the user profiles and to collect reference data. The questions are related to age, gender, profession, education, previous experience on mixed reality technology. In the third step of the proposed test protocol, the usability test is performed and it's recorded by the researchers. First, some introductory information about the prototype is provided to each user, and they were asked to, they need to be asked to perform structured tasks by using the prototype. And the users' interaction and users' questions are recorded during the test. We recommend that the following information items are collected, such as task completion duration, number of errors, number of correct task completion, number of clicks while performing the tasks, and so on. The last step is post-test questionnaire. This questionnaire is conducted to obtain qualitative evaluations of the tests, and there are some statements that are provided to the users, and there are some positive and negative tones to prevent participants from random voting. And 7-point Likert scale is recommended, similar to existing usability tests. In the questionnaire, in the general part, in the first part, the general structure is evaluated, and the statements are related to the general look and feel of the prototype. For example, I found the prototype difficult. The prototype was designed for all levels of users. The prototype was too slow to react. My input were the main statements that were included in the general structure. The second part of the questionnaire is evaluating the MR environment, and this is specific to mixed reality environment. So we included statements such as, I had trouble finding virtual objects overlaid on physical elements. I was distracted by pop-up windows that block physical elements. I was able to navigate wherever I wanted. I could easily turn the virtual elements on and off. The speed of accessing the data of virtual elements was satisfactory. I prefer the hands-free or one-handed or two-handed use of the mixed reality prototype. I prefer to use the prototype via MR Smart Glass. So these are the main statements that we propose to use to evaluate the mixed reality environment. And the next section includes statements related to the user interface. This is kind of similar to the other questionnaires that evaluate the user interface, and an example is the interface of this prototype was pleasant, or the sequence of screens of the prototype was confusing. And finally, we ask open-ended questions to learn what the users would include in the prototype or extract from the prototype, or if they are willing to use this prototype in the future. To conclude, we performed a literature review. We proposed a usability test protocol to be used for mixed reality environments in the FM phase. And it has 4 steps: cognitive walkthrough, pre-test surveys, usability test video recording, and post-test surveys. And we proposed a post-test questionnaire that could be used to evaluate the experience of the users. We expect that this usability test protocol will be used by the researchers that are willing to test the user's experience.